Effective teaching and learning constitute that I, as the teacher, treat my classroom as a business that must be successful. In that regard, I implement several measures to achieve the desired outcome. These include cultivating positive relationships and building a sense of community within my classroom, developing social and emotional competence in my students, ensuring that they are engaged, motivated, and are self directed learners, ensuring that I integrate technology, teach them as 21st century learners, and guide them into becoming global citizens. A successful business hinges on the positive relationship between the salesperson and the customers. In a similar way, I must build positive relationships with my students. I do this by getting to know my students within the first 2 days of them being enrolled in my class. I talk to them directly and make eye contact with them when I'm speaking with them. I build rapport at the door for in-person class by having one-on-one conversation with my students as they enter, letting them know that I am glad to have them at school. For online class, I welcome them individually for each class. I incorporate rituals and routines in the daily activities, including transition between activities to seek assistance when in need and for ongoing assessments. I give my students choices and responsibilities, and I hold them accountable. My students and I create rules and consequences for breaking rules from the beginning of the school year. Fairness is exhibited at all times in enforcing the consequences when a rule is broken. I build rapport with parents as well. I send personalized welcome notes at the beginning of the school year, as well as check in with individuals to make sure that I share positive notes or find out what is happening with a student who has been absent after 2 days. In order to consistently stay ahead, I need to ensure that I am on the cutting edge with educational technology. That is, teaching my students how they learn using current trends in education. Online tools such as Edulastic, Google Suite, Padlet, Quizzes, and Edpuzzle are some of the myriads of online tools that I use to promote active student engagement. A variety of teaching learning strategies are employed in my classroom, inclusive of participatory learning, inquiry based learning, project based learning, and differentiated learning while developing 21st century learning skills. Students are encouraged to work with peers as teams to achieve objectives that are set within the lessons. Through these highly interactive and collaborative efforts, students discover their strengths and weaknesses, which are catered to accordingly. The two acts that are most applicable to me are the Education Act of 1980 and the Child Care and Protection Act. The Education Act is applicable to me because it provides guidance and information on my legal rights as a teacher as it relates to the operation of my class, the treatment of my students, and the operating procedures of all governing bodies. Additionally, it outlines my responsibilities to my profession. The Child Care and Protection Act is applicable to me because it gives the standard of treatment for children. It explains their rights to protection, provision, and participation. As a teacher, aspiring mentor, and aspiring principal, it is imperative that I am aware of these acts to know my rights and responsibilities in executing my duties. I play several roles in the achievement of the vision for education in Jamaica by 2030. These roles include being an educational guide, motivator, facilitator, and co-learner. In my role as an educational guide, I ensure that all the children in my class have access to proper education. I motivate them to become passionate participants in the instructional process by providing project-based, participatory, and educational adventures. I assist students in learning how to use facts by developing their abilities to think critically, solve problems, make informed judgment, and create knowledge that will benefit them as well as the Jamaican society. I ensure that I cater for all the children in my class, using my detailed analysis of not just academics, but behavior to create intervention plans. This is evident in my track record in grade 4 of achieving literacy and numeracy mastery ranging from 92 to 100% 3 consecutive years before the pandemic. In my role as a fundraising coordinator, I collaborate with teachers, parents, principal, and other stakeholders to raise funds. Over the past 4 years, the fundraising initiatives saw to the purchasing of laptop computers, televisions, and the perimeter fencing of the school. In my role as a co-learner, I ensure that I keep abreast of current trends in education by attending professional development trainings, seminars, and webinars promoted by Region 3 as well as the Jamaica Teaching Council. I also get information from Google Search and YouTube, especially in regards to technology in education. In leadership role, I ensure that students at my school are adequately prepared for secondary school through my role as the leader of the 4-H club, curriculum implementation team leader, school-based assessment coordinator, and SWPB's coach. Not just for school, but for life, our children learn. As a teacher and a mentor, the agencies within the Ministry of Education that I will be interacting with the most are the Jamaica Teaching Council and the National College for Educational Leadership. I will be interacting with the Jamaica Teaching Council because I will be submitting reports and giving updates in regard to the mentorship program as well as accessing professional development opportunities that are offered by this agency. I will be interacting with the National College for Educational Leadership through Quality Education Circle 25 by sharing information that I learned from the Jamaica Teaching Council, as well as getting professional development training that the QEC offers.